observe your child, what they're doing at the moment, and draw their attention to what exactly is happening from the perspective of STEM. So if your child is eating an ice cream, you can say, hey, the ice cream feels cold and it numbs your tongue. Why do you think that is? Or, oh, that lemon tastes sour. Why do you think the lemon tastes sour? Or what will happen if I mix this red soda with a yellow soda? What color do you think we will get if we mix the two? So there are umpteen ways to make it fun and, lively for your child, because that is what attracts your child to STEM in the first place. Make it lively, make it animated, make it colorful, make it messy, make it everything the child wants it to be, and you'll have a winner. You'll have a winner on your hand.
This is the Msquared Podcast featuring author Miranda Mathis. You will hear tips, tricks, and inspiration that will help you raise and educate little ones who are happy, safe, and kind. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Msquared Books Podcast. I'm Sarah, the producer, and I'm here again with author Miranda Mathis. Hey, Miranda.
Hi, Sarah. Hi, Charvi.
Good to see you.
Hi. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Miranda.
Today we have Charvi Shah with us, and she's going to talk about STEM and how to introduce children, even at a young age, to the STEM subjects. And sometimes they're really complicated. I'm a little intimidated by it myself, and I think it's something that a lot of people maybe have a block when talking about it or thinking about introducing it to their kids. So we have the perfect person here right now to help us dip our toes in the water and figure out how to get our kids introduced to this and get them started on the right foot. So thank you for being here, Charvi. It's good to meet you.
It's good to meet you too, Sarah and Miranda. Thank you for having me on the Msquared Books Podcast. It's an honor.
Well, I am so happy to hear that.
So before we get started, can you give listeners just a quick little glimpse at who you are and what you do?
So, hi, I am Charvi Shah. I'm an early childhood educator and I'm a mom of two. I share easy-to-do, screen-free activities for little children, and which are majorly focused on STEM and STEM education.
Wonderful.
For those who may not be familiar with STEM, can you talk about it in more depth?
Of course. So STEM is an acronym for science, technology, engineering, and maths. And STEM learning is nothing but an integrated learning and teaching of the subjects, which I just mentioned. And it's gaining a lot of importance in the early years education right now. And it has been since a few years now.
Now, can you just say the acronym again, what it stands for?
Yes, it's science, technology, engineering, and math.
Okay. So STEM may not be something most people think of in early years due to its complex nature. But why do you think STEM fields are so important to share with kids early on?
Okay, so there's a long answer to it as well as a short answer. I'm going to start with the long answer first. I'm sure that you are really good at what you do today, and Sarah, I'm sure, is really good at what she does today, and I'm sure the interests that you have are you're good at what your interests are as well, right? Today, but maybe that was seeped into you by your parent or your caregiver when you were a little child. So I love dancing, right? I'm a classical dancer. And my earliest memories of dance are when my mom used to take me to dance performances. And I would be enthralled with the dancing and the facial features and the costumes. And it was just wow. And slowly, because my interest and my exploration for the subject grew, I started dance classes, and today here I am, an accomplished dancer. along with being an educator. But so I'm sure that all of us have gone through that exercise of finding out that, this is what I'm really good at. And maybe we have that understanding that, okay, we can trace it back to that little thing that we did in our childhood, So understanding that we can trace it back to being introduced to it in our childhood. What I'm trying to say is, when we start right in the beginning, there are better chances of us getting better at it eventually in our lives. In the next 10 years, 68% of all the jobs around the world are going to be STEM related, either one way or the other. And if your child has the head start of starting right now when they're toddlers, that's always going to be a win win for everyone. Uh, Coming back to my short answer, STEM builds curiosity, it builds innovation, it helps boost a child's vocabulary, it helps with critical thinking, it helps with logical reasoning, it helps with deductive reasoning, it encourages PBL or problem based learning, which a lot of schools are having in their programs right now. And what it does, most importantly, is build initiative in a child, along with building resilience. You fail at an experiment, you want to do it again and again. So it builds resilience. And this combination of initiative and resilience determines early years success, early years development. And also, it gives our children the tools that they need to succeed in this highly technological society that we live in today.
So tell me, how can one start sharing or introducing these types of fields to kids? What do you suggest?
So children are, in my experience, children are innately curious beings. They're always wondering, why did that happen? And what happened to that? And how did that happen? So let's start by building on that. If they have a question, go ahead and answer it. If you're not prepared to answer that question, take some time, look it up, and get back to your child with that. And you can always, by means of just having a normal conversation, encourage a STEM based thinking in your child. For example, let's take the nursery rhyme, the wheels on the bus go round and round. So, why do the wheels go round and round? Why? Because they're circular and they don't have any edges. Maybe you can start there. The scissors go snip, snip, snip. And why does it do that? How does it do that? So, the concept of simple machines can be introduced when you talk about scissors. Or even when we talk about the weather, hey, look, it's snowing outside. How did snow get up all the way up there in the sky? And how is it falling down? So the concepts of air cycle and gravity come into play here. So I believe STEM is everywhere. In every little conversation, there is an opportunity to talk about STEM. And use your daily routines to build on their skills and their explorative tendencies. And you can also do that by way of singing and playing and reading, whatever activities that you're doing with your child. And my one suggestion to go ahead, like really ahead with this, is encourage your child to document what they have learned so far. If you've conducted an experiment with them, make sure that they document it by way of maybe painting or drawing or sketching or even recording their thoughts via an audio recorder.
I love that.
Yes, I was just about to say the same thing. So tell me, what if there's a parent who doesn't feel confident in these areas of learning? Are there ways they can still help introduce them to their kids?
Of course, why not? My top tip would be to be co-discoverers with your child. Um, be fascinated, go back to your own sense of wonder and bewilderment that you felt as a child when you came across something new. So understand that your child feels the same way and go about exploring with them. I'm sure your child will learn, as will you. Another thing to do, and it's super easy to do, is use math concepts wherever possible. For example, you can talk about shapes. Look at that rectangular truck or the circular wheel. Or you can use counting wherever it's possible. Hey, let's go and count those flowers in that hedge out there. or hey, look at, there's a fruit basket, let's sort the fruits by color. These are
Oh.
all very good ways to initiate a child into STEM. You may not realize it, but maybe you're already doing it. And one more thing that I'd like to add is observe your child, what they're doing at the moment, and draw their attention to what exactly is happening from the perspective of STEM. So if your child is eating an ice cream, you can say, hey, the ice cream feels cold and it numbs your tongue. Why do you think that is? Or, oh, that lemon tastes sour. Why do you think the lemon tastes sour? Or what will happen if I mix this red soda with a yellow soda? What color do you think we will get if we mix the two? So there are umpteen ways to make it fun and, lively for your child, because that is what attracts your child to STEM in the first place. Make it lively, make it animated, make it colorful, make it
Mm-hmm.
messy, make it
Mm-hmm.
everything the child wants it to be, and
Mm-hmm.
you'll have a winner. You'll have a winner on your hands.
I like that. You're using practical things, things you see every day or they see every day, and you're
Yes,
using them as learning tools. So that's
yes.
awesome. So tell me, what are one or two ideas to get parents and even teachers
Mhm.
started with sharing STEM with their little ones, maybe once a week or twice a week? What do you
Uh-huh.
suggest?
Okay. There are umpteen things, and you need not look any farther than your own pantry at home. You
Mm-hmm.
do not need any fancy apparatus to get your child thinking about STEM. No, STEM is not about that. STEM is all about just getting your child to start thinking and making the child learn new concepts and new things around them, right? So you can just start with your pantry. You can do the classic baking soda and vinegar volcanoes. You can do the coke and bleach discoloration experiment, where the coke completely loses its color when you add some bleach to it, right? So the brown coke then eventually becomes transparent, the liquid becomes transparent. That's quite fun for them to watch. You can make non-popping balloons. The balloon doesn't even pop when you bring it next to a flame. So you just add a little bit of water to the balloon and you place it over the flame, and with the help of evaporation, and you're reducing the bursting point of the balloon.
Mm-hmm.
So the balloon doesn't burst with the help of a little bit of water. You can do color mixing with watercolors, food colors, or even Play-Doh. Where you mix primary colors to get secondary colors, and you can, like XYZ, infinite number of colors. You can make a boat and make it move without even touching it, with the help of the concept of surface tension. All you need is water and some dish soap, and you're good. You can also have surface tension experiments with milk and food colors, and they turn out to be so beautiful. And believe me, you should look at my children. We've probably done that experiment 10 times, and they still behave like deer in a headlight. They're just looking at it, and they're still so enthralled. They're like, oh my God, it's almost like magic. How does that happen?
Mm-hmm.
And you can always, of course, we have the classics like slime and oobleck, which is a non-Newtonian liquid that you make with corn flour and water at home. But my personal favorite is the levitating ball, where you just hold a hair dryer upside down and you put a little plastic ball over it, and it kind of hovers because of the air pressure, and it's a treat to watch. And the child is like, oh my God, what is that? Is that magic? How is that flying? So always, so everything that you need to start with STEM, believe me, it's right there in your home.
Wow.
Awesome. Oh my God. I can talk to you all day. And I'm sure you have so many different examples and suggestions, but I have to turn it over to Sarah.
Mhm.
But I just wanted to say thank you so much for sharing your suggestions and ideas. I am sure that there's someone, one of our listeners, that they're going to try that, because we need things to keep our
Exactly.
kids' um, minds stimulated and
That's right.
active and keep them interested. And STEM is a wonderful way to do so. So thank you for being a wonderful guest. And Sarah, she's all
Thank you so much,
yours.
Miranda.
Absolutely.
I really love how you explain this stuff. You make it sound so fun to someone like me who's very intimidated by this kind of stuff. And, I love how you said, just explore with them, take on that explorative mindset with them rather than thinking you have to have all the answers. It's okay. Well, I don't know either. Let's figure this out together. Like that makes it so much more approachable. That's an amazing tip right there. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that.
And what was nice, Sarah, she used things that are in the house, like in your home. You don't have to go out and buy these things. You already bought them anyway, like the milk, you have the water coming out. Yep. So there are things that were practical that we use every day that we can use. Yeah. So I really like that. So thank you. Thank you again. Wow.
So before we wrap up, can you tell us just a little bit more about your story, your personal story and your passions, and what you do, especially, the lessons that you give? How can people get involved? How can they contact you? Tell us all of it.
Okay. So I started back in 2020 when we were all in lockdown. India was in lockdown for the longest time. And I was already engaging my children in a few activities, STEM and otherwise. And a few of the mothers, my friends, they said, why don't you start a page? And why don't you share all the activities with the rest of us so we can do the same with our children? So that's where Mommy Alchemy started. And I'm so glad it's been 3 years and it's been an amazing journey. I will personally believe that till the age of 5 years, it's best not to introduce your child to a screen because it does hamper their cognitive abilities and their thinking skills. So that's where this idea was born, where I would share activities which were not screen related, everything which was hands-on. Maybe it was just a paper and a pencil, but it was still something that you're doing to keep your child off the screen. And also, parallelly, you're kind of stimulating them. So you're probably working on activities of vocabulary or reasoning or math, or you're just doing sensory play, which is a whole lot of fun. I'm all for sensory play. The messier, the better. So that's where I started. It's been 3 years. I have a page on Instagram called Mommy Alchemy, @mommy.alchemy. I'm on it. I share a lot of science experiments, again, with things which are readily available in your homes, nothing fancy. So you can always go ahead, check out my page. And if it helps you do something for your child, I'll be more than happy.
Awesome. Thank you. I'll share the link to your page in the show notes so people can find you easily.
Thank you so much. There are over 500 activities there, so make sure you check those out.
What a great resource. Take you, Charvi.
Yes. All right, and everyone take care and enjoy. Okay. I'm going to enjoy the snow.
Enjoy.
Very well.
Maybe you can figure out why the snow is falling now, and maybe you can have a conversation with someone around.
Okay. All right.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Action item.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Take care.
Thanks, Charvi. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Head over to msquaredbooks.com where you can find all the latest books and hear about upcoming events like live readings. See you next time.